Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about some of the specific ways that ashwagandha can benefit women. We have a mostly male viewership here on our YouTube channel at VitaJing. It's about a 75 to 25% ratio of men to women. And naturally, when we create videos, when we put in the time, the effort, and the research to produce a video, we want it to cater to at least the large majority of our viewership. However, we do not want to forget about our female friends. So ladies, this video is dedicated to you, and in it, what I'm going to do is dive into some of the research behind ashwagandha's specific ability to benefit women, as well as dive into some of the other commonly known benefits of ashwagandha and tie that into how it can optimize female health. So with that being said, if you're not familiar with ashwagandha, this is perhaps one of the most revered herbs in the Ayurvedic herbal system. It's perhaps one of the most commonly used herbs today due to extensive modern research that backs all of its ancient or traditional claims. So it's truly an adaptogenic overachiever, as I put it, because it can affect every system in the body positively. As an adaptogenic herb, it can positively modulate the metabolic system, immune system, digestive system, and ultimately have a tonifying effect on the whole nervous system and ultimately the entire body. So it's truly a cure-all sort of herb. It's one of those wonder herbs that there's really not anything it can't benefit in regards to improving your health. And we've talked about this extensively on our YouTube channel. We have various videos that dive into all of its clinically proven and traditional benefits. However, today I'm going to narrow in on some of its specific ways for improving female health, starting off with this study, which talks about ashwagandha's beneficial effects on female sexual function. And according to the results of this study, supplementing with ashwagandha can lead to a significant higher improvement in all aspects of sexual satisfaction, including sexual arousal, lubrication, orgasm, and total sexual satisfaction, concluding that supplementing orally with ashwagandha may improve sexual function. Now, the study doesn't go into the details or the physiological mechanisms behind ashwagandha's ability to achieve this benefit or these benefits. However, ashwagandha has been traditionally used as an aphrodisiac and a sexual tonifying herb or enhancing herb. And when we look at some of the other mechanisms, as we will in a moment, it starts to make sense why. Some of the major reasons that ashwagandha might improve the overall sexual experience might be due to the fact that it can help balance and regulate the sex hormones in the body, which leads us to our second major benefit of ashwagandha, which is its ability to promote fertility health. So the basic way that ashwagandha might be improving fertility health, from my understanding and the research, is that studies like this show that it can improve the levels of progesterone. Now, progesterone literally means for pregnancy. It is known as the pregnancy hormone or the hormone of pregnancy, and the most basic function it has is to keep estrogen in check and ensure the healthy function of the entire reproductive organ system. So in the case of females, the ovaries, the uterus, the entire womb is tonified by this particular hormone. So one of the major underlying imbalances that contribute to infertility in women is this progesterone deficiency. Ultimately, without it, you can't be fertile. So ashwagandha is going to be optimizing that fertility hormone, making sure that you have enough of it, and you want about 50 to 100 times more progesterone to estrogen. And a lot of women today have this ratio sort of backwards, which is why infertility or fertility problems are so implicated in the modern world. Why things like PCOS, menstrual issues, menopause, as well as sexual dysfunction. So tying it back into the first point, optimizing progesterone levels is going to improve the physical reproductive health of the female body. And one of the key signposts of that is a healthy sex drive. Moving along, our third major benefit, and I sort of touched on this, but ashwagandha can improve the symptoms of both menopause and PMS. Like fertility issues, sexual issues, most issues or symptoms associated with menopause and PMS, like hot flashes, mood swings, cramping and bloating, migraine headaches, all these things can be directly related to a progesterone deficiency. And there's even studies like this that show ashwagandha supplementation can be effective for alleviating the symptoms of menopause, and this could also apply to PMS and general hormonal imbalance. and it can specifically help with symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and overall mental and mood imbalances, as well as fatigue. Next, as I mentioned just a second ago, ashwagandha can lower prolactin. So women are more likely to experience a condition known as hyperprolactinemia, where your pituitary gland secretes or produces too much prolactin. Prolactin is considered the nursing hormone, and this is because it tends to be elevated after pregnancy once a woman gives birth to produce breast milk. And obviously this is helpful for this situation, but it's actually the chronically elevated levels of prolactin that make women more susceptible to certain diseases like osteoporosis, like hypothyroidism, migraine headaches, and even breast cancer. So elevated levels of prolactin are implicated in all of these conditions and many more. As I talk about so often, elevated prolactin is one of the major contributing factors to various types of hair loss. It can contribute to diabetes and PCOS in women. So it's something that you definitely want to keep in check. And unfortunately, because women have higher levels of estrogen and estrogen stimulates prolactin, women are more susceptible to having high levels of prolactin. The good news is that ashwagandha is a very good herb for lowering prolactin. It's been clinically proven not just to lower prolactin, but as I've said so many times already in this video, it can increase the production of adaptive hormones like progesterone, but can also boost thyroid function. And hypothyroidism is one of the major reasons that prolactin tends to elevate. Normally, the thyroid gland keeps both estrogen and prolactin regulated. So it's a really great herb for anybody dealing with hyperprolactinemia, high prolactin levels, or if you have any of these symptoms or conditions I mentioned, you might have high prolactin levels and not know about it, but ashwagandha could help greatly in this way. And the last and final benefit, particularly for women that I want to talk about in this video, could be applied to men as well, but I think it's more of a sensitive subject to women, or at least a more desirable benefit, which is this ability to promote graceful aging and healthy, youthful skin. Now, obviously, both men and women likely want to have youthful, healthy skin, but I think there's a certain stereotype that, men can experience fine lines and some wrinkling, and it adds to their rugged handsomeness, where women prefer to have that smooth, soft look to their skin. Now, the way that ashwagandha can help improve the appearance of the skin and specifically help with wrinkles is by its anti-cortisol effects. So ashwagandha is proven to lower cortisol upwards to 20%. And cortisol, when chronically elevated, is one of the major reasons that the skin ages, especially prematurely. So when cortisol is chronically elevated, it can initiate a process known as gluconeogenesis, where cortisol starts to catabolize the tissues in your body, including your organ and gland tissue, internal tissues, but also your skin tissue. So it can literally break down the skin tissue and turn the skin proteins into sugar during stress. This is helpful for coping with stress, but it's very destructive, and especially destructive to the skin because it can make the skin less integral. It can break down the structural integrity of the skin, making it weaker, more frail, and susceptible to wrinkling and aging. So if you're a woman that wants to prevent any sort of wrinkling and preserve the youthfulness and the strength of your skin, then one of the primary goals is keeping the stress, specifically cortisol, to a minimum. And you can do this by using herbs like ashwagandha. So there you have it. That's about 5 or 6 proven ways that ashwagandha can specifically benefit the female body. Now, obviously, there's many similarities between the biologies between men and women. So outside of this video, there's plenty of other benefits, broad range benefits that would be beneficial to both men and women. As a prime example, ashwagandha is also known to improve the health of your cognitive function. So it can improve overall cognitive function. Obviously, that's something that's sort of a universal or unisexual benefit, I would say. So if you want to learn more about the various benefits of ashwagandha as a female or just as a person, then definitely be sure to check out the other videos that we've made on ashwagandha here on the channel. Otherwise, that does bring this video to a close. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for future videos like this if you haven't yet already. And of course, if you're interested in supplementing with a high quality ashwagandha, keep in mind that all the studies I mentioned here today were done on a specific strain of ashwagandha known as KSM 66 ashwagandha, which is a high potency, full spectrum ashwagandha extract that also happens to be the purest on the market. So if you really want to reap these benefits, your best bet is to supplement with that form of ashwagandha. Otherwise, you might have to do some more trial and error in terms of dosing and things like that. So again, if you're interested in supplementing with that high quality KSM 66 ashwagandha, you can find that on our online tonic herb shop in the description box below. In addition to that, we do have more resources on our website. We have a blog and an online wellness academy where you can learn more and gain tons of free information and resources as to how to improve your overall health. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.